The wisdom you have acquired and the conscience you have nourished all suggest we have the commitment as well as ability to realize our potentials. Remember, South Asia is not all about poverty and backwardness. It is about the potential and determination that we share. It's about wisdom and vision. It is about you. I appeal to your foresight to come up with the vision to build a prosperous South Asia, a developed South Asia. As the revolution in information technology is changing the landscape of development, our young and bright South Asians should use their dexterity to ensure that life of any ordinary South Asian will be kindled with the rays of technology. To charter upon a path towards developed South Asia, where every single South Asian will experience the life of dignity. ICT and innovation are not luxuries. They are necessities calling urgent attention. The responsibility lies on you to come up with innovations that will support our pursuit for developed South Asia. Dear students, the history confronts us today with larger questions, dilemmas, and challenges. It's a collective responsibility to address those challenges. Top among our common challenges is extreme poverty and backwardness. In our fight against the evils of poverty, young graduates like you are the vanguards. South Asia has the interwoven tapestry of distinct cultures, religions, and languages. Though that tapestry, a common thread of South Asian identity, runs along, beyond the borders, beyond the barriers, stemming from our shared heritage as well as aspirations. Peaceful coexistence of diverse ethnic, religious, and linguistic groups has been a hallmark of our culture. In the pursuit of regional solidarity and dismantling barriers, you are the vanguard. As you formally aim your academic pursuit at this melting pot of South Asian culture, you will travel along the roads that may not be smooth always, but the hurdles will be ephemeral. Your perseverance will prevail. You'll sail through the waters that won't be gentle always, but the turbulence will be ephemeral. Your diligence will pay off. The wisdom you gathered here will be your guide throughout the journey. I request you to build upon the knowledge that you acquired here. I request you to never cease the pursuit for knowledge. You have to compete with the world. You have the responsibility to exert the dignity of South Asia, and that responsibility asks for continued pursuit of knowledge, for perpetual diligence and unshakable determination. As Swami Vivekananda said, arise, awake, and stop not, till the goal is reached. Thank you, and I wish you very best. Thank you all.
Thank you, Your Excellency. May I now invite the Honorable Minister of State for External Affairs of India, Mr. M.J. Akbar, to please give the Convocation address.
Mr. Amjad Hussain Sayal, Secretary General of SAARC, Mr. Deep Kumar Padhya, Ambassador of Nepal to India and Visitors Nominee, Dr. Kavita Sharma, President of this distinguished institution, fellow delegates, and most of all, students. Dr. Sharma, you began by thanking me for being here. It should be the other way around. We should thank you for inviting us. The difference is this, that we on the dais represent the last 32 years of SAARC, and we have just seeing the faces of those who will determine the next 32 years of SAARC. And believe me, the next 32 years are going to be far more important than the last 32 years. It is a genuine privilege being here. But let me start by congratulating all the students who have at their convocation today. Congratulate you not only for your very hard work and the successful completion of your academic program, but most of all, from the little that I see in the process and in the procession, let me congratulate you, because on each face I saw the determination to create a far better world than you have inherited. I also take this opportunity to compliment all those who got the degrees, and particularly those who are the SAU gold medalists for their excellent performance. On a consolation note, for those who didn't get a gold medal, I mean, neither did I. And I can also confirm publicly that you have got your degree after completion of your academic cycle. I think by the time I picked up my degree, 20 or 25 years had passed since I left university. And that actually is the good news, because you're not entering the world in the middle of the kind of turbulence we saw when we left our institutions and tried to find a way forward. But the future that we see today could not have been created except by the faculty and the administration of this institution. And teachers remain the truly unsung heroes of civilization. Civilization itself owes most to the guru, to the teacher, right? And whatever they deserve by dakshina is actually far less than society owes them. I would also like to make special mention of the positive role played by the government of Nepal as the SARC chair and the visitor of the university. It is only appropriate that the ambassador of Nepal to India is the visitor's nominee today. Friends, for us in India, an ancient saying conveys our philosophy: Vidya Dhanam Sarvadhanam Pradhanam. Vidya, knowledge; dhan, wealth; sarva is the best, and pradhan is the best. With this university, we sought knowledge for its own sake, of course, but we also wanted to expand our regional horizons to include knowledge of one another in our region. One of the things that I believe we have lost is knowledge of one another. We cannot change history, but we can still change the future of knowledge. History has left us with too many divisions, but knowledge is the answer to barriers and the fruitful seed that flowers into a regional consciousness. Remember one thing about knowledge: the mathematics of knowledge is unique. It is the only thing that increases and multiplies when you give it away. When you hoard knowledge, you subtract and take away something from yourself. This university has succeeded in 2 short years in translating that vision into reality. It has already produced about 900 scholars. As noted by our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi at the 18th Summit, SUU today partners with at least one academic institution of excellence in each SARC country. I'm given to understand that the number of applications for SOU programs has jumped considerably in 2017-18 as compared to that of the previous academic year. And why is this important? This is important because it is not the people who created this university. It's not even the faculty. It is not the political class. It is not those who belong to the establishment. This is the true endorsement of those whose endorsement is really the most important, the endorsement of students. The applications have increased because word has gone around among the young that this is an institution whose degree they would be proud to acknowledge as not merely as something to keep as framed on their walls, but something that they will cherish as part of their continuing history of development. This is therefore endorsement of excellence by those who measure it best, students. I take this opportunity to thank member countries. I would be even more encouraged if there was some more light. I take this opportunity to thank member countries for their steadfast support to the university and participation in this project. Our institution is hitting critical mass. Friends, physical infrastructure is a crucial element in the success of any academic institution. As you are aware, the permanent campus of SAU is being constructed in Maidangari in New Delhi, with India fully committed to bear 100% of the capital cost, which has been budgeted at this moment at rupees 2,500 crores. The government has identified and allotted 100 acres of land. It is a matter of construction of buildings under Package 2, and Package 3 is now in full swing. The university will be able to have its full-fledged curriculum of courses in identified disciplines once the campus is fully operational. Speed is essential because contemporary generations, the young, are impatient as they should be. Dear friends, students, you enter an epoch which is more exciting than anything seen in generations. For us, in the SAARC region of Asia, the 19th was a century of dreams and struggle, particularly the dreams and struggle that liberated us from foreign colonialism. The rest of the 20th century was a time of hope, also riddled by some degree of havoc. The 21st is going to be the century of fulfillment. There is always going to be challenge. Nothing will come easy, because human duality has always included some suicidal desire for self-destruction. But what is the opposite of destruction? It would be entirely logical to any student of philology to say that the answer is construction. But let me leave you with another thought. The opposite of destruction could be and should be instruction. Knowledge is creative, and creation leads us almost always forwards towards a better quality of life, towards greater seniority, a greater desire for cooperation, forward towards mutually shared future. In our region, and I really, what shall I say, even envy you. Our region is entering the age of opportunity after struggle, uncertainty. But you, who are graduating and leaving what might be perhaps the youngest academic institution in the world, perhaps, you have to ask yourself one question as you shape your lives. What are you truly seeking? Are you simply seeking a salary? The answer to that is very simple. For each one of you who is today privileged to be inside this hall, remember that in the whole of South Asia, there are perhaps 100,000 outside dreaming of entering this hall. And if your life, I'm not asking you to become a saint, but if your life does not include at least some concern for those who do not have your privilege, who have not shared your opportunity, then your life will not be worth what it should be and what it can be. But as you seek your way forward, I urge you to seek and search for one thing. You are young people. The real challenge for you is to find the road towards modernity. Modernity is an easy word to use. It is a far more difficult word to understand. Modernity is not the clothes you wear. Modernity is not even the science that you study. For me, modernity represents four deep, fundamental values. Modernity must have freedom. Many countries got freedom from the British and forgot to transfer freedom to their own people. And freedom is not the freedom exercised by governments. That is a small part of freedom. Freedom is the freedom exercised by individuals. That is the freedom that is the most precious freedom that we must preserve, protect, and enhance. Second, we must all belong. We are a sea of faiths, creeds, opinions, voices. We must ensure that we live in societies which believe in faith equality, not in faith supremacy. It is up to every individual to find his or her way towards the divine. It is not for us to judge whose way is better and whose way is worse. Freedom, faith equality, these are pillars of modernity. Gender equality. You cannot be a modern nation anymore until you have ensured gender equality in society. Women cannot be left behind. Women cannot be also rans. We have not given women the full opportunity that they deserve, and yet you can see in this process and procession that women are coming ahead. But most important, it is not only the academic opportunity that we give to women that is going to shape our future of modernity. It is the social empowerment and the economic empowerment that is going to determine whether we can truly call ourselves modern, truly call ourselves citizens of the 21st century or not. And finally, the fourth pillar of modernity, it must include economic equity. There is nothing called economic equality. Nobody's ever achieved it, and don't waste your time on it. But there must be. But there must be economic equity. This is what I began. We cannot. This SAARC area has the world's largest population of impoverished people. You cannot ever forget that. Within your lifetimes, within the foreseeable future, within a decade, 15 years, you have to eliminate this inherited curse of poverty. And unless that is done, our lives essentially will remain hollow. But I congratulate you in the hope and in the confidence that you will turn our portion of Asia into a modern region with the liberties, with the freedoms that define modernity, and most of all, achieve the freedom from hunger, freedom from uncertainty that still bedevils so much of us. Thank you very, very much for this moment.
Thank you very much, Minister Sir, for your words of wisdom spoken from the heart. I'd like to now request the Registrar of SAU, Dr. A.K. Malik, to request the visitor's nominee to declare the convocation closed.